All right, so this problem came from Chapter 6. It's problem 83. It's about the 5D process, about Letitia wanting to get a B+ in history class. To do so, she needs to have an overall average of at least 86%. So far, she has taken 3 tests, has gotten scores of 80, 82, and 81. Use the 5D process to help Letitia determine what percent score she needs on the 4th test to get the overall grade she wants. So this is a problem about finding the average. So I started the 5D process here, and I just went through. I just want to walk by it. So the things that I picked out were that on the first 3 tests, she got a 90, 82, and 81. There was only 1 test left, and she needs an average of 86% for the B+. So my picture I drew, I did an expression of what needs to happen. Is that if I add the 4 tests, if I add the 4 tests here, and here's the one that we're solving for, the one that we don't know. If I add them all together and then divide by 4, that's how you find an average. I need that to be 86%. So when I add these ones up, I already know what those are. And the one that we don't know yet, we can call it X or we can call it T. That when we add all 4 up and divide by 4, we need it to be at least, at least an 86%, because she can get higher than that. I'm sure she'd be fine with that. So then I just went and I said, okay, well, let's define. Well, the last test is the only thing that we're interested in. We already know that these are locked in. We already know that we got a 90, an 82, and an 81. So altogether, we got 253%. We could find the average of that, but that's how many percentage points that we got, right? That's not, we didn't get to over 100%. No, over those 3 tests, that would be out of 300%. That's what we got. So I said, well, what if we just try 86? So if I take an 86 and add it to the 3 tests, that gets me 339. And if I divide that by 4, that got me an 84 and 75/100%. So 84 and 3/4. That was too low. It was pretty close though. So I tried 90. So I did 90 plus those 3 scores. So 90 plus the 3 scores, 90 plus those 3 scores, and then divided it by 4. And that's how I found the average. So I chose numbers for the last test and added them to the first 3 and found that average by dividing by 4. That got me a little too low. So I tried 91, which was just a little bit higher. I knew we were getting so close. We were getting so close here to that 86. So I tried 91%, and when I added it, 91 plus the 90 plus the 82 plus the 81 there, got me 344, and when I divided it by 4, I got exactly 86%, which was perfect. So I knew that that was what it was. So that Letitia needs to get at least a 91% on her final, right? This is that 4th test. She needs to get at least a 91 to get a B+. She can get higher, but she needs at least a 91. And then it said her teacher decided to make the last test at least worth twice as much as a regular test. How does that change the score she needs to get on the last test to get an overall score of 86? So I chose to do it like this. I said that here's the first test, here's the second test, here's the 3rd test, and then I knew that the 4th test was worth twice that weight. So if this was like her whole grade, this was like 100% of her grade, this would be 20%, 20%, 20%, and that would be 40. That together, that makes 100%. This last test here, this last test is worth double. Double points, double the worth. So what that is that's saying that, well, now our expression changes to 90 plus 82 plus 81. If we add them all together and add whatever we get times 2, then there'd be like 5 tests that she's taken. It's like her taking 5 tests now, since this last one is worth double. So what I did is I said, well, if these we already knew that this makes 253. And I kind of want to figure out, what would X be? What does X have to be here? And I said, well, you know what? What is 5/86s? How many percentage points is that? Like if I got 86 on each one, how many percentages is that total? So that's how I got this. I multiplied by 5. I multiplied this by 5 and got that you need to get 430. That this is the magic number. 430 points. We've already gotten 253. So the question is, well, how do I get to that number, that 430 number? Because that would make an average of 86. That's like us getting 86 on each test. So we've already gotten this many points. So I subtracted 253, and I subtracted 253. And I said, what's left over? How many points do I need to get left over? So subtracted those, and then got that two of this test would be 177 points. So doubling this gets me 177. So I just cut it in half. So took half of it. So did a little solving expression, and got that this test needs to be at least 88.5 to get that score.